fear. What it is, why you can't really conquer it, but how you can face it. And we're going to meet two women who can help all of us. One, an extreme athlete who seemed fearless but was not. And another on the opposite end of the spectrum, Michelle Poler. She lived her whole life in fear of everything until one day she said, no more. Watch this.
Growing up, I was a very fearful kid. I was afraid of literally everything, from doctor's appointments, being by myself, going to water parks, roller coasters. I would even choose my friends according to their pets. Like, I would ask them, what kind of pet do you have? And if they answered something like, oh, I have a huge dog, you have to get to know him, I would be like, nice to meet you, bye. When I went to college, I realized that I had more fears than the other girls. I was limiting my life in ways that they weren't. I was always choosing comfort over growth. In 2014, I moved to New York to do a master's in branding, and our teacher asked us to write a 10-year plan. She asked us, if you weren't afraid, what are some of the things that you'd like to accomplish? Then she asked us to identify one crucial obstacle that could get in the way of our dream life. And when I realized that fear was the one thing that could keep me from achieving my dreams, that's when I embarked on this project that changed my life for good. So I decided to face 100 fears in a period of 100 days and document the entire process on YouTube. From the smallest things that were limiting my everyday life.
I'm going to dance like no one's watching.
To fears I never thought I would be able to conquer. As I was facing my fears, I started to see a change in myself. I realized that for my entire life, I've been saying no thanks to absolutely everything that is new for me. And now, I started to say, let me try.
How about that? Michelle has since founded the movement Hello Fears, which encourages others to step out of their comfort zone. Welcome to you, Michelle Poler. Thank you for being here. So,
my pleasure.
All right, so 100 days and 100 fears.
Yeah.
Everyone's wondering what was the most difficult one, right?
Yeah.
What was the toughest one for you?
I think that number 100 was the toughest one, and it was public speaking. I've always been afraid of doing so, but at the same time, I realized that at the end of the project that was the best way to get my message across. Mm-hmm. So I kind of faced my fear in order to impact other people.
Yep.
And after that, that just launched the beginning of my speaking career.
So fear was sort of built into you thanks to your mom.
Well, my mom, she comes from a family of World War II survivors. Like her parents survived the Holocaust. So, of course, they raised her with lots of fears, and that's the same way that she raised me. But at the same time, she also taught me things like authenticity, which requires a lot of courage to do. And I've always carried that throughout my entire life, always trying to find ways to do things in a different way.
I know you say that it boils down to a mindset, like overcoming your fears. And you say we have to stop saying, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like one of your things was jumping off a cliff. And of course, we're all standing at the top of the cliff saying, I know exactly what the worst thing is,
yeah.
and I'm not going to do this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what should the mindset be?
Well, it actually happened. Like, that shift of mindset was before giving my TEDx talk, before doing the public speaking, right? The person that was with me, she asked me, Michelle, don't worry, what's the worst that can happen? And I started to think all the worst possible case scenarios. And that's when I realized that how are we supposed to gather the courage that we need if we're only considering the worst case scenarios? And I decided to flip the question around in that moment, and I asked myself, Michelle, what's the best that can happen? That's when I started to see the possibilities that were hiding behind my fears. And I started to think of the reward behind it.
All right, so we have a lot to talk to Michelle about, including the moment she took off all of her clothes and stood up in front of a room full of people.
Oh,
We'll be right back with that. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about fear this morning, and we're here with Michelle Poler, who was afraid of just about everything until she challenged herself to face 100 fears in 100 days, and she documented the whole process, including you got up naked in front of a room full of strangers?
Exactly.
What happened?
A friend, which I don't know if she's my friend, really, for suggesting this, she suggested that I should pose nude in front of an art class. that's something I never even considered when I started the project, but I was so terrified that I realized I had to say yes, of course, to this. And what happened is that throughout the first few minutes, I was so self-aware, right, trying to cover as much as possible, thinking that the students were judging me, when in reality, they were just trying to fulfill their mission to create beautiful art out of whoever posed for them. And that made me realize how self-centered we sometimes are.
I know that at the end of that, you looked at one guy's drawing, and what did you see?
Yeah, so at the end of it, I tour around and I see everybody's drawings, and this guy spent the whole class drawing my face. Yeah.
And the lesson you took away from that was what?
I realized that no one is judging us the way that we judge ourselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Think about that. Wouldn't that be a nice thing to keep in your head forever? What about, I see the picture there of you putting a tarantula on your arm.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds scary,
That was
right?
an interesting experience because it was one of my definitely biggest fear. It was not even in my list when I started.
MG.
I know. And I thought I was going to hate it.
You don't look like you're having a great time.
I was not having a great time at first. But then after the tarantulas started crawling up my arm, I realized they're so elegant and so delicate that I started to really enjoy it. And then my face changes. You would see like, okay, wait, it's not changing in there.
You're just re-racking video here.
But I realized the importance of actually trying things before saying we don't like them.
Because do you like that?
I consider getting one for myself.
Come on.
Yes. But they're not allowed on planes, and we travel a lot.
Yeah, it's a difficult pet to have.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other ones? Like you perform stand-up comedy, or do you...
Stand-up comedy was terrifying for sure. Dancing in the middle of Times Square was interesting because I was dancing like no one's watching, and I was the only one hearing the music.
Right.
So I looked
you fit right
crazy.
in. Fit right in.
Yeah.
Times Square.
And that night I experienced what living life to the fullest feels like for the first time in my life. And
You're a great dancer.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, I could use some of those moves.
It was so much fun.
So what's that? I mean, for those people at home thinking, what's my number one thing to remember when I'm sitting at home and I'm afraid? What do they need to remember?
When they're afraid, I think that you always have two choices. You can choose growth or you can choose comfort. And growth, is always the scariest choice to make. Mm-hmm. Comfort is the easy one. So that's the way that I make decisions nowadays.
I love that. I love that. Michelle, thank you. She's coming back in a minute because we're going to have some more discussions in just a bit. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.